Hello everyone, it is me, Rory Paddock. 4 picks from the paddock yesterday. Start that again. It is indeed me, Rory Paddock. 4 picks from the paddock.co.uk. Broadcasting to you live on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. Obviously, yesterday was an absolutely smashing day. 3 winners and a very close 12-1 second from just 5 selections. Hopefully, you got on. You were able to bash those bookies. So I'm sure you're eagerly awaiting what 5 horses I like today. And it's time for Thursday's version of today's tips. Hello ladies and gents, obviously it is myself, Rory Paddock, 4 picks from the paddock.co.uk, broadcasting to you live at 10:35am on Thursday the 22nd of October. And I've got another 5 selections for you today. Now I must admit, unlike yesterday, the 3 winners were relatively short priced, and I don't have any that are as, or certainly not as many, as horses that are more well fancied. The majority of these today are more speculative selections, so please bear that in mind. It's not one to be steamrolling in. That being said though, hopefully I found a bit of value and they come up good for us today. So without further ado, 4 of the selections are over in Ireland and just 1 in England. So the first one comes in the 1 o'clock at Thurles, with horses priced at around 10-1, 33-1, and there's 2 at 66-1. It's a 7-runner race that really looks more like a 3-runner contest, to be totally honest with you. Now, of those 3, obviously, any Willie Mullins trained horses demand a ton of respect at any level. And his 8-year-old mare, Sapphire Lady, is no different. But, having not finished her last 2 starts, and prior to that finished 12th of 14, she's failed to deliver recently. Well, I say recently. It's hard to see anything different today after what's going to be a massive 548-day layoff. That leaves just 2 in the form of the Gigginstown-owned Surin, who should benefit from a recent outing when finishing second 12 days ago, but has produced a mixed bag of efforts and a bit of form up and down, and therefore it's Gin of Lime, who has a healthy weight allowance, is open to further improvement after just 3 career starts, and should be a winner on stable debut for Henry de Bromhead. That's Gin of Lime in the 1 o'clock at Thurles. Staying in Ireland, but going over to Navan, it's the 340 contest, and it's probably my best bet of the day, but it is an each way selection. Now, there might be a ton of runners in this 5 furlong sprint, but as I've already said, I am quietly confident in bottom weight foolproof. It's been heavily backed this morning and overnight from as big as 22-1 into now 8-1 with a certain well-known Irish bookmaker. Some others, however, some other bookies are still offering double-figure prices. So if you can get a double-figure price, I would urge you to shop around and grab some of that. The John Fiend trained 3-year-old hasn't claimed victory in their 7-race career to date, but showed their best in both starts here at Navan. Clearly likes the course. He'll be fitter for his return to action earlier in the month, and is open to plenty of improvement. Flown under the radar a little bit, but wouldn't be a shock to see them go very close. The money's down. Make sure yours is too. That's foolproof in the 340 at Navan as a decent, solid each-way selection. We then go back to the National Hunt Sphere, back at Thurles. Echoes of Family is far from an obvious choice. I know you're looking at me with sort of like one of those sort of confused dog tilts, like when they tilt their head and go, what? Looking at the form book, and a case can easily be made for tons of its rivals, but bear with me, please bear with me. The horse may be a 13 race maiden, but she's been campaigned between 2 miles and 2 mile 2 furlongs for most of her career. I think it's 11 of her 13 starts. The only time she's tackled anything close to today's trip came here at Thurles when she finished 6th of 17 on soft ground. She really wasn't that far away that day despite finishing 6th. She had the most of the field behind her. Upped in distance again, I think is going to be a massive help. It's also worth noting that one of Ireland's top jumps jockeys, Sean Flanagan, takes the ride as well. And I'm more than happy to take a little slice of the 28-1 that she is currently priced at. Will love the ground, acts well around the course, should improve for a step up in trip, and could be won at a big price that can sneak into the places. That's Echoes of Family, the 3:52. Still can't get my head around those race times, but the 3:52 at Thurles, Echoes of Family is my selection there. Sticking with Thurles, and the final race on the card, the 4:27, is a National Hunt flat race where, although it's perhaps a tad predictable, it's perhaps a tad obvious, if you see the Codfather, aka Jamie Codd, climbing aboard a Gordon Elliott trained youngster in a National Hunt flat race, you can't really go far wrong, can you? Now, they team up with Indigo Breeze. It's currently a reserve, but I'd still encourage you going to go out there and back it, because once it does get into the race, it's going to be much shorter than the current even money price that is currently available. Now, at even money, I think that's the best you're going to be able to get, and there's nothing lost if the horse doesn't line up. The 4-year-old, if it can convert his point-to-point form now to rules racing in what looks a pretty weak contest. Yes, I know it's not going to break the bank at the current price, but if you want a pretty decent chance of a winner, Indigo Breeze, 4:27, to round off my selections at Ireland over in Thurles. Last but not least, our only race on the all-weather is the only selection in England, and it's another horse at double-figure prices that may do better than their odds suggest. We have 4 former course winners in this 15-strong lineup, and I'm opting for the top weight Starry Eyes. Now, the Simon and Ed Crisford trained runner showed let's be honest, very little on return at Sandown, but should come on for that effort. Was returning after a break, so should strip much fitter. A return to an artificial surface is a massive plus, as is a return to Chelmsford, where the horse holds a 100% strike rate. It's a really nicely bred filly, has been handled with kid gloves, it's not raced all that often. Could have more to offer now that she's back on UK soil. Clearly the yard think highly of her because she's been tried in listed and Group 3 company. She's now lining up in a Class 4 handicap, and I'm happy to take some of the 11-1 that's on offer. That's Starry Eyes in the 7 o'clock at Chelmsford to round off my 5 selections for Thursday. Again, I've got to warn you that these are more tentative selections than yesterday, but as always, any likes, comments and shares, very much appreciated, and good luck if you follow.